Hello and welcome. I am Maya Spella Cullins. Welcome to Beyond the Ordinary. I am your host. Sit tight. We have an amazing guest on today, and this is something that you don't want to miss. Tell me a little bit about your relationship with your mom, your father, what that looked like growing up.
He was incarcerated all the way up until I graduated high school in 2001.
I knew it was a toxic relationship, and so I started doubting myself and thinking something was wrong with
you.
me. Exactly, thinking something was wrong with me.
Lead me up to.
But I got struck with a bullet. So the bullet went in and out of my hand.
Behind the scene, how did you feel?
It was a different feeling to have somebody be there with you, especially when I was back home. I had real family members and friends who didn't understand,
Hello and welcome to Beyond Ordinary. I am your host, Maya Spella Cullins, and I have Miss Shantaya Jackson here on today. She came to bless us with her presence, and we're going to talk a little bit about her relationship with her parents and the whole ordeal of how she became the beautiful, phenomenal woman she is today. So welcome. Thanks for coming on the show today. So Miss Tay, tell me a little bit about your relationship with your mom, your father, what that looked like growing up.
Okay, so growing up, my father was not in the picture much. He wasn't in the picture due to an issue between my mom and himself. My mom pretty much raised us as a single parent. He was incarcerated all the way up until I graduated high school in 2001.
So he wasn't there at all? Did you visit? Did you have any type of relationship whatsoever?
I think the relationship between him and my mom was a bit toxic. So there were no visits. Maybe one or two. My grandmother actually, she would pick us up sometimes and take us to visit him because she felt that the relationship between, it was three of us. It's me and I have two other sisters. But the relationship between my dad and us was important.
Right.
But the relationship with my mom and my grandmother was toxic as well.
Wow.
So they, they didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things. So the whole pick up and drop off to go and see my dad, that was like it was troublesome.
Right, and I know you had mentioned a little bit about going through the whole ordeal of mental, physical abuse.
Yes.
How does that play a factor when you say toxic? When you say not a healthy relationship? Tell me about what does that look like?
So actually, to this day, my mom and I, we don't really have a strong relationship. I actually had to detach myself in order to grow.
Wow.
As of now, I don't really know her true meaning as to why she reacted the way that she reacted towards me. It was actually mainly myself. I know growing up, she would physically beat me. We would be fighting you see maybe a high school fight, a World Star. We would literally be fighting.
How old? What was the first, when you realized something wasn't right?
Where I was old enough to actually realize, I was maybe 10. I was about 10 when I started to realize back to school shopping was, Tay, I didn't find anything in your size, but my other two sisters had a galore, shoes, clothes, and everything. Or when it was time to enroll in extracurricular activities, we don't have the money for you, Tay, but, my sisters were able to, take advantage of those things. So it was mentally and physically straining.
Right.
It really, really was.
How did that impact you as far as your adulthood? Having that relationship, not having that relationship with your father, not being able to turn around to your mother. I know you've seen other females growing up that had that mother love.
Yes, ma'am.
So how did it leave you?
At the age of 12, I ran away from home. And I haven't been back since.
Wow.
So for me, it pretty much allowed me to just build, I guess, on my own, I guess. I didn't have any type of guidance other than my grandmother. My grandmother was she was a strong force. As I got older and was actually able to visit my grandma, you know what I'm saying, on a on an individual basis, because as I started getting older, I was able to bond that relationship with my grandmother.
And this is your grandmother on your mother's side or your father's?
On my father's side.
On your father's side,
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So what challenges have you found being an adult, going into a relationship, interacting with other people? Tell me a little bit about that.
I would say, as I started, I guess I can start with my teen years, as when I started to see that it really affected me. In my teen years, I started to notice that I was more so like on attack mode, I guess you would say.
Defensive.
Right. Like when I was in high school, I was like, I always felt like I was doing things, and if somebody retaliated or just even have an opinion,
You responded.
Automatically. It was like anger. It was like, because I felt as though I'm a child. I hadn't reached adulthood at that time. I was a teen. Why is life so hard for me? What did I do? I was a straight A student. I was going to school. I was not having sex. I didn't have sex till later on in my life. I felt like I'm doing everything right. Like, God.
Why me?
Why? Like, what am I doing wrong? You know what I'm saying? But as I started to grow in relationships, I started to see myself putting up with things that I didn't have to put up with.
Because of your upbringing.
I didn't want them to leave. I felt like, you get what I'm saying? I felt like
you wanted that attachment. Because even though it may not necessarily be the right attachment, you wanted that.
I needed something. I needed friends. My self-esteem was extremely low. It was low because I'm like, I had nobody to come and tell me, you know what, Tay, you look cute today, girl.
Right.
Like, you are special, and then as I was growing up, dark skin was not in.
Right.
It was not like you Blackie, you Moon Pie, and my last name was Moon, so I was, you the chocolate Moon Pie,
Right.
But it took a lot. It took a lot for me to understand that I had to forgive,
so that you can move forward.
I had to move forward, but I was not going to get an apology.
Right. And was that okay for you?
Now, yes. Then, no, because it still felt like, what did I do? Like, I mean,
Do
everybody
you still
would
have
say,
those thoughts? Like, what did I do? Why? No, you just let it go. And how is your relationship now with your mother?
It's non-existent.
Non-existent. So,
she did try to reach out. My grandmother passed August 9th would make 2 years since she's passed.
sorry to hear that.
Yeah. So she reached out to me when she initially found out. So for me, it triggered something in me. Like I found out that when I was a teen that she was diagnosed with bipolar and schizophrenia. So
Your mother was? Okay.
She was. So I sort of it started to help me pull the blame off of myself a little bit. You get what I'm saying?
I understand that she had a disease that was beyond your control.
Exactly. It was beyond my control.
Wow. Okay.
So I was able to sort of kind of like look at her in a different light. But my mom was extremely smart. So it's one of those things like you had to sort of kind of like balance it. Like, even though you have a mental illness, I know that you're extremely intelligent. You get what I'm saying?
So growing up, you didn't understand it.
I didn't.
Later on, you found out she had it.
Right.
So
I think I was maybe like in the 9th or 10th grade when I found out that she had,
so throughout your life,
illness.
when you're in high school, about to graduate, now you finding out.
Now I found out.
Wow.
So it allowed me to take the blame off myself. But even now, when she reached out to me, when she initially found out that my grandmother had, passed away, she started to reach out to me. But prior to that, it was like a 10-year span of no contact.
Wow.
So that whole thought of coming in like, you have a mental illness, but you're extremely intelligent.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
But you still want that piece of closure of understanding what did it look
Absolutely.
like. Yeah, I got you. Well, we're going to be right back. Of course, we got to take a break. But when we come back, we're going to talk more with Tay. And this time we want to dig more deep in reference to her relationships, her adult life, where she's at now, and allow her to give you some encouraging advice if you don't have a relationship with your parents, the importance of it, and then understanding mental health. So stay connected. We'll be right back.
Coming up next on Beyond Ordinary.
My self-esteem.
And with knowing, fortunately in life,
Right.
cards are dealt to us. We don't make choices of who our parents are. But through those situations with knowing life is just being what it is, what would be some encouraging advice that you can give the younger you if you had to? Or someone that could potentially be watching right now and just need one word from you. What advice could you give that person?
To younger Tay, I would say, you are beautiful. You are amazing. You are not your past. You are not your parents' mistakes. You are not your parents' faults. You are everything.
Hello and welcome. I am Maya Spella Cullins. I would like to give you a little information about why you should tune in to my show. We will be addressing issues from mental health to substance abuse issues every day that people struggle with. The truth of the matter is we always put it into a box where it's taboo in many cultures. We look at mental health and substance abuse as one form or one fashion, but not realizing that we are individuals that look just like me that can struggle every day with an issue and not know that it's a problem. So I'm talking to the sisters and brothers out there that are struggling with depression, where you can't get up out of the bed, you feel like giving up and you have no hope. I'm talking to the marriage couples that's out there that's saying, I'm done because of infidelity, because of issues that he or she struggle with. I am the one that you need to tune into so that you can get help. I want to help you, and I want you to open up and allow me to be in your living room at that place and time so that you can do whatever is necessary to save your life and save others around you. Hope is still available beyond your ordinary.
So a lot of times when we lack knowledge and we don't know, we feel like, well, you can be better tomorrow, or you can stop smoking and drinking and doing the things that is basically destroying your family. It's just that simple. Despite of your situation, despite of what I was going through, I was still able to make it out. So not only did I go to school and get my bachelor's, I went right after and got my master's, and now I'm in my last year with my doctoral program. So that just goes to show you that God is able.
Yes, He is.
Yes. So I'm like a solution-focused person. I don't focus on the problem. I focus on what's the solution. That's the problem. What's the solution? So that's what led me here today.
That's
or what I'm,
wonderful.
as you see what I do. So I always do things in a creative way to reach the viewers and to reach the individual, my audience, in a different form of fashion. So I said, well, what better way to do it than be myself? Because I don't know how to be no other way. So the easiest way to be is myself. So if I can be myself and put who I am in my writing, if I could put who I am in the message that I'm delivering, then it's going to come natural. I don't have to try hard. I just do what I do, and it just happens to flow. And that's how successful I've been based off of me doing just that.
Are mental or behavioral health issues or addiction affecting you or someone you love? Are you or someone you love addicted to prescription medication? We can help. At Changing Phases Behavioral Support, Inc., our innovative programs combine the best of outpatient care in an intimate, welcoming setting. Serving Marietta and the surrounding areas, we have the privilege of having a host of experienced mental health professionals who specialize in implementing personalized service to reach the community at large. We encourage strong community partnerships and collaborations with our services and various unique programs within our agency for the purpose of enhancing and embracing the individual for a better future. At Changing Phases Behavioral Support, Inc., you will know that you are not fighting alone. To learn more about how we might be able to help you or someone you love, visit us online at www.changingphasesinc.com. or call us today.
Stacy and Daryl are the perfect couple, with the perfect family and the perfect life. Or are they?
As the Lord professed unto me, he who findeth a wife, find a good thing. And I know I got a good thing in my wife.
If someone that you love hurt you, how far would you go to avenge your pain?
You made your own in this world, so why would you stay with him? Why don't you get you a little something on the side? What? Mm-hmm.
If you had an opportunity to pay someone back, would you?
Detective Claus, narcotics. I think you'll provide me with all the assistance that I need. It would seem as if Stacy's boyfriend is trying to expand his empire.
But this woman, she ruined everything. We should never brought her into this.
When your entire world has been built on lies, can you find your way back to the truth?
Don't run away from me. I want to know what that was all about today.
I don't want to talk about
it. Oh, you gonna talk about it? Narcotics? Boyfriend? You have no idea I can destroy you, do you?
And you have no idea what I'm capable of.
What secrets will be revealed behind the veil?
So mental health is important to me because I feel it's actually the only way a person can actually be their true self. When you're experiencing any type of mental illness, it can affect your everyday life. It can affect the way you communicate with people. It can affect the way, you interact with people alone. So I feel that it's extremely important for everybody to be aware that mental illness is a lot more widespread than, what people think. It's important because I feel in order for a person to truly excel in life, whether it's, a regular 9-to-5, their career, entrepreneurship, whatever it is, it's the only way to truly be able to excel and be your 100% self. Thanks and welcome back to Beyond Ordinary. I am your host, Maya Cullins. We still have Ms. Tay Jackson, and we're going to talk a little bit more about her experience growing up, where she's at now. But one of the questions I have for you, Ms. Tay, if you could hold on to your seat and say one thing or a few things to your mother as if you was a young child, what would that be?
I would definitely say, oh my God.
Take your time.
I'm a diamond in the rough. I'm a diamond in the rough. I am not your past experiences. I'm not your fear. I'm not your guilt. I'm not.
If you could ask your mom, if you could say, I'm taking this back, what would that be?
I would definitely take my childhood back. Definitely. I would take my confidence back. I would take my, oh goodness. My self-esteem back.
And with knowing, fortunately in life,
Right.
cards are dealt to us. We don't make choices of who our parents are. But through those situations, with knowing life is just being what it is, what would be some encouraging advice that you can give the younger you if you had to? Or someone that could potentially be watching right now and just need one word from you. What advice could you give that person?
To younger Tay, I would say, you are beautiful. You are amazing. You are not your past. You are not your parents' mistakes. You are not your parents' faults.
Wow.
You are everything. I would say dig deep. Dig deep inside of yourself to know that you are amazing.
Yes. Well, thank you for that.
Thank you.
I know they came from a place
Ooh, baby.
that nobody could ever understand. But I'm sure there's plenty of individuals out there that lack or look for that mother and father love. And when it's not there, what do you do?
Absolutely.
So we're going to fast forward a little bit. So now the beautiful Tay that you've always been, but even beautiful today, where are you at in your life now? How are you coming along in your career, your relationships? Where are you at now?
Okay, so where I am in life now is extremely more powerful. I am a business owner.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's always a good thing.
Yes, it is. I'm a mother of 3.
Okay.
And I'm a wife.
Oh, wow. How long have you been married?
I've been married, this year will make 6 years.
6 years. Okay. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Coming up next on Beyond Ordinary.
Kind of like, I mean, it's something as simple as an eating disorder. It's something that internally somebody may be struggling with. So I think everybody.
So now that you're married, what are some things that you feel like in your relationship that you may hold back from, or that you may have found to be a peacemaker, whether that's therapy, whether that's communication, being honest and open about your past? What do you feel? What advice could you state as it pertains to that perspective?
Definitely communication and being exactly what you said, just being honest and open, and knowing that some things that I may be dealing with internally, I'm acting out. Like, you know, you bring it out, whatever's on the inside, it's like you may be acting out. You may not mentally know, like, I didn't do that, but your actions are, you know, expelling themselves because of what's on the inside.
Got you.
Are mental or behavioral health issues or addiction affecting you or someone you love? Are you or someone you love addicted to prescription medication? We can help. At Changing Phases Behavioral Support, Inc., our innovative programs combine the best of outpatient care in an intimate, welcoming setting. Serving Marietta and the surrounding areas, we have the privilege of having a host of experienced mental health professionals who specialize in implementing personalized service to reach the community at large. We encourage strong community partnerships and collaborations with our services and various unique programs within our agency for the purpose of enhancing and embracing the individual for a better future. At Changing Phases Behavioral Support, Inc., you will know that you are not fighting alone. To learn more about how we might be able to help you or someone you love, visit us online at www.changingphasesinc.com or call us today.
Stacy and Daryl are the perfect couple with the perfect family and the perfect life. Or are they?
As the Lord professed unto me, he who findeth a wife, find a good thing. And I know I got a good thing in my wife.
If someone that you love hurt you, how far would you go to avenge your pain?
You made your own in this world, so why would you stay with him? Why don't you get you a little something on the side? What?
If you had an opportunity to pay someone back, would you?
Detective Claus, narcotics. I think you'll provide me with all the assistance that I need. It would seem as if Stacy's boyfriend is trying to expand his empire.
But this woman, she ruined everything. We should never brought her into this.
When your entire world has been built on lies, can you find your way back to the truth?
Don't run away from me. I want to know what that was all about today.
I don't want to talk about
it. Oh, you're gonna talk about it? Narcotics? Boyfriend? You have no idea how I can destroy you, do you?
And you have no idea what I'm capable of.
What secrets will be revealed behind the veil?
So with your story and all the different things that you went through, I know we have to go ahead and end soon. I wish I had more time with you. But if you could, what would be some things that you could just tell the audience and leave with them some nuggets of encouragement as it pertains to your now? So that anything that the enemy, anything that the past, anything that mental health, because when you talk about your mother, I know that you didn't understand what it was.
Absolutely.
You became to understand that in high school. Absolutely. But it may be somebody watching and saying, hey, they may not even understand to this day that mental health do exist and is very important, but it impacts and it can take a lot away from us. And what did that look like for you when all of those things were stripped or taken away? What did it look like for you now that you're an adult, now that you're married? Do you find yourself still struggling with that?
I actually think there may be levels of mental health. So to say that I don't would not be correct. Right. I feel everybody kind of it's something as simple as an eating disorder. It's something that internally somebody may be struggling with. So I think everybody.
So now that you're married, what are some things that you feel like in your relationship that you may hold back from, or that you may have found to be a peacemaker? Whether that's therapy, whether that's communication, being honest and open about your past. What do you feel? What advice could you state as it pertains to that perspective?
Definitely communication and being exactly what you said, just being honest and open, and knowing that some things that I may be dealing with internally, I'm acting out. Like, you bring it out, whatever's on the inside, it's like you may be acting out. You may not mentally know, like, I didn't do that, but your actions are, expelling themselves because of what's on the inside.
Got you. Well, thanks so much for coming and sitting in on Beyond the Ordinary on today. Tay Jackson is here giving us a lot of information. If you want to know more about her and how to connect with her, how would they be able to connect with you, Tay, if they wanted to?
Business-wise, I am on Instagram at Classified Studio. I am a business owner, Classified Braiding Studio, Northside Drive in Atlanta.
Okay.
My personal Instagram would be Pink Cocoa Kisses. And you can reach me on the website, www.classifiedstudio.com.
All right. Well, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for joining. Make sure that y'all stay connected and visit our website at www.beyondordinary.tv. Thanks again, and y'all be blessed.
Next time on Beyond Ordinary.
Something happened. So your life was normal. You doing what you love, and then an event happened.
But the weird thing is that it didn't happen at the event. That night was amazing, as usual. Amazing. I met a lot of great new talents, and I still work with today. But for some reason, this particular night, and I'm not saying that what happened was targeted towards me, because I'm gonna leave that there.
Right.
And but I got struck with a bullet. So the bullet went in and out of my hand and hit the back of my head.
Was you driving? Lead me up to what happened. Hello and welcome to Beyond Ordinary. I am your host, Maya Spella Cullins. If you're looking to be a guest on our show, do not hesitate. We want to hear from you. Go to our website at beyondordinary.tv.